Hello. Oh,
Hello, it's me.
I'm the problem, it's me. Hello.
How how are you?
Wrong song. I'm good. How are you?
Okay, είμαι πάρα πολύ καλά, ευχαριστώ. We had some problems with the electricity here, but I think that the connection is stable now.
Perfect.
I'm so happy that you are with us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so glad to finally meet you.
I'm so happy that I wear my best uh, blusa with
Yeah,
Arturos. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. You're in Athens now.
No, I am in my hometown, which is Xanthi. It is in the
Okay. Okay. Πού είναι?
Που είναι η Xanthi. Xanthi is in the northern part of Greece.
Okay. Κοντά στη
It,
Θεσσαλονίκη.
Bravo, κοντά στη Θεσσαλονίκη, around 2 hours from Thessaloniki.
Okay.
Um,
Ωραία.
so please tell us some things about you. You're Arianna. We know that. Tell us something so our friends will know you more.
Yes. I'm Arianna Papalexopoulou. It's funny, I
Oh,
just message from a random stranger telling me, "Hi, I think you made a mistake. You have your name Arianna Papalexopoulos, and it should be Arianna Papalexopoulou. So you need to change the name." And I'm like, "Oh my God, okay." I'm in America, so we don't drop the S. Growing up, my brother was a year ahead of me in school. We would never, I mean, you only do that in Greece, but it was funny to
mhm.
receive a message like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We declinate. We follow all the names follow the declination system. Okay. Mhm.
But it was funny to receive that. Anyway, I was born and raised in San Francisco. Γεννήθηκα και μεγάλωσα εκεί. And I came to Los Angeles for my undergrad degree. I studied at UCLA, UCLA. I did
Yukla. Είσαι μια Yukla.
UCLA. I studied there, and then I stayed ever since. I got my grad degree a few years ago as well from USC, University of Southern California. I studied theater, and then I studied digital media and marketing. So I've been here, been 10 plus years now in Los Angeles. So I'm basically a Los Angelino, as they say.
Los Angelino. Okay. So
Yes, so
your base now is LA, where you create all this. You will tell us more about your projects, what you are doing.
yes,
And okay, now it makes sense. You mentioned that you had a theatrical background, right?
I'm
Now
yes,
you are a
I'm an actress primarily.
okay, okay. Now everything, all the parts of the puzzle make
Yes,
sense.
yes,
Okay, we met you from your BEA Beautiful account in the Instagram. Okay, the twingirlpeeks. Αν το λέω
yes.
σωστά, twingirlpeeks.
Yes,
Immediately we fell in love with you because you're a content creator that you have a deep understanding of the modern Greek cultural aspects, let's say, and you give your content in such a way that it's very funny, very creative, and I want you to tell us more for this project. When did it start?
yes,
Yeah, and
absolutely. Yes, thank you for your kind words. So I started this channel. It's been a long journey. I started in 2014-15 with one of my best friends from UCLA, an American girl. And we are both from San Francisco, born and raised, and we both studied at UCLA. And then we moved back to San Francisco around the same time for a couple years. and most of our friends had stayed in LA, but we were both in San Francisco and we studied theater together. So she was going through a very difficult time, and basically we wanted to create demo reels, right? Because we were just out of college and we said, okay, we need as actors, we need demo reels. We need footage because we just got out of theater. So we needed footage to then get representation to go out on auditions and all of that. And so we started writing together, and this was this was before people were posting content on Instagram. This was when Vine was happening, another platform. This was big YouTubers, like, you know, creating content. So we started writing comedic sketches, the two of us. And we said, oh, we like this process. We don't want to just create one. We want to keep going. And my brother's a filmmaker as well. He's a year older than me, and he studied at USC Film School. So he just started his production company. He was working in film, and I obviously was grateful to have a brother in film because he was able to film us. So we started.
So you said the team, all the members of the team were there.
Yes, we have the whole team. And it's really funny because my brother and I are both artists, and my father is completely the opposite. Computer science, electrical engineering, all of that. But yeah, so we started doing that, and then we got a rhythm, and we started creating, you know, we did about 5 or 6 longer sketches. This was when we were making sketches like 5 minutes long, which no one watches anymore because we all have ADD and we only want to watch content that's under a minute. But we started doing that, and then she is no longer acting, so I took the channel in my own hands. A lot of people ask why the name Twin Girl Peeks? Some people think the film, you know, the director David Lynch's film, is it off of the TV show Twin Peaks? No, it's so Megan, my friend, and I, who started the channel, we live, like I said, we were born and raised in San Francisco. She lived on one side of a landmark called Twin Peaks in San Francisco, and I lived on the other. So we said, what if we name the channel Twin Girl Peeks? But we didn't really research it, because if you YouTube Twin Girl Peeks without spelling it with one word, a bunch of like Hooters girls show up. So that was a mistake. We didn't want to change it. We were like, the name is meaningful to us, so we're going to keep it. So sorry, I'm kind of dragging this story along, but after I took the channel in my own hands, right before the pandemic hit, I started posting videos shorter and directly on YouTube. And that's when I tapped into the Greek community, because before my comedy was always situational comedy. It was, you know, some of it was self-deprecating, some of it was just if I would experience something in real life, I'd say, oh, that's a comedic sketch. I got to turn that into a script. So it was a long process. And then I said, you know what? I gotta just post and roast, how my brother and I say. We gotta, you know, don't think about it too much. It's the internet, you know. And I'm glad that we went through that longer process of like almost making a short film and then kind of saying, okay, this is for the internet. We gotta cut it down. People are engaged within the first 2 seconds, or they're not. They keep scrolling. It's not that big of a deal. So I started my first sketch, I guess, gosh, which was it? My first Greek sketch in February 2020. I played two guys. I played a guy on a date with a girl. I played both characters. And the guy was saying, oh, you're Greek. Do you speak Greek? And so I'm the girl, like, Greek? Yes, I speak Greek. And that one just got a lot of traction. And I said, wow, this is a niche market, you know? I didn't have, before it was kind of such broad comedy. And then I said, wow, like, I got to do more. I got to target my audience, right? And so that's when I tapped into the Greek community. And then I started seeing a lot more Greek content creators on Instagram, because before I didn't really follow any. And so I met some friends that way, and I built the community that way. And yeah, it's great. I mean, now 2 years later, I have followers and I've connected with people all over the world. Australia, Greeks in Australia, Greeks in London, you know, Greeks in New York that I never really knew prior. So it was
Greeks in Greece.
In Greece, which is so funny because this past summer was the first summer that 3 random Greeks on the one in Crete, 2 in Athens recognized me, and I was shocked. I was like, this is crazy. How, you know, people can recognize you from the other side of the world. I really, it was kind of wild.
They recognized you you came in Greece and they recognized you in the street.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Μία στη Crete, she was, Eleni, her name was, she was a hostess. And I was there with the parea, and we were trying to get a seat by the sunset. We wanted a good view at this restaurant. And she goes, no, she's telling us in Greek, you know, it's all the tables are reserved. And then she goes, Signomi, είσαι από το TikTok. And I was like, I had like imposter syndrome. I was like, are you sure you're, you know, am I the right person? She's like, ναι, έχω δει όλα, the mama, the papu, all the videos. So that was really funny. And then 2 times in Athens. And it was mostly from TikTok, not Instagram, which was also interesting.
So, Arianna, the idea first started as creating, let's say, content not for the media, okay, not for the social media, but in the process, you target this audience, let's say, right? So it was a transformation, and now it is in this place, in this area.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And what about the project? It's a Greek thing. What about this one?
Yes. So, very funny. This was, again, right before the pandemic. I met Yuli, who plays my Greek aunt in the sketches.
Yeah, this is great.
I know. She's, I mean.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
No, yes, I lost you a bit.
Sorry about that. She's wonderful.
Guys, sorry, Arianna. Guys, of course we speak Greek, but give us some minutes and Arianna will speak Greek too. Okay.
Yes. I mean, I can speak both, but anyway. So I met Yuli at a barbecue in Los Angeles, and through a friend, and we started speaking. She is an architect from Greece. She quit her architecture career and came to Los Angeles to pursue acting. And so we were talking, we met up for coffee after this barbecue. And as I was talking to her, because we have about a 20-year age difference, I said, and she was trying to garner, you know, she wanted to get footage for her demo reel, more content and whatnot, for her to get representation in Los Angeles to continue auditioning and all of that. So I said, I have an idea for us. I said, you can play my aunt, who I have an aunt like figure in my life, who her name's Dimitra, and she was my Greek teacher when I was a kid. And again, same age difference, 20-year age difference. And Dimitra is a character. I mean, and this is how I based Yuli's character off of my real close friend, who's almost like an aunt, who was my Greek teacher growing up, who lives in San Francisco. And I would write down ideas. I have my notepad. I like to actually write and not just on the phone. I have a little notepad and I jot down my ideas. Again, based off real life situations. And I mean, the first sketch that I did with Yuli was based off a true experience with Dimitra. I would get in her car. We would go on, I don't know, errands or a walk or lunch or whatever. And she would go, Ella, Arianna. She would be hanging up the phone, always on the phone with someone. And then she would go, Ella, Arianna, vale ligo agiasmo. And I'm there in the car and I'm like, and I'm in America, you know, like it's hysterical. She got back from church. I'm like, ligo agiasmo. So it's so funny because all of those situations, almost now, I would say the past couple sketches, we're thinking of them on our own. But the first 5 videos with Yuli, it's a Greek thing. We're based off my personal experiences with Dimitra. And that's how it started. And I really didn't think it would get as big. It's interesting to see that we're all the same, right? Like all Greek Americans kind of live through the same, oh my gosh, my aunt does that. So it was nice to see how relatable it was for everyone, for all the Greeks all over the world.
And this ended up as a film series. What is course.
again, it started with just, oh, let's just create this. Let's put it into some festivals. Let's see how it does on the internet. And then we realized, okay, people want more of this. People want to see this relationship grow. They want to, I mean, people were commenting, oh, this needs to be a TV show, all that, all that. And so now I'm working on a big project that I can't speak about right now, but that's based off of that. So I'll keep you posted.
Okay. Okay, I will not push you to tell something. My bear, perhaps. Come on, tell us what you want.
You'll see more.
Okay, but wait.
There will be more, and yeah, and that's also how I play the Greek mom character, also just based off figures in my life. But it's funny, my mom is actually not Greek. She's 100% Italian, which most people don't know because they think I'm 100% Greek.
You have some videos with Italian and Greek papu, right? So,
yes.
Okay.
Konstantinos and Greek papu.
Oh my God, Arianna, you're 100% Mediterranean.
Yeah, exactly. Una faccia, una razza.
Una faccia, una razza. Oh my God, what a combination! What a combination it is.
It's a it's a volatile mix. It's a dangerous combination. Lots of fiery passion.
Okay, now let's focus more on language, on Greek language, not the Italian one, but if you want, you can say, of course, for your Italian, the Italian language. So, growing up, you were in a house that I guess English, Greek, and Italian were spoken, right?
Unfortunately, not Italian. My mother's a San Franciscan native, so her parents were also born and raised in San Francisco. Her grandparents were from Italy. So her grandmother was from Sicily and her grandfather from Genoa. But we didn't, unfortunately. So
English and Greek, right?
Yes, I'll get to that.
Okay, I want you to tell us more about your first steps in the Greek language. How did you learn the language in your house? You already mentioned your teacher. So which were your first baby steps into Ellinika?
Yes. So my dad made the mistake to not speak Greek to us when we were kids. Basically, he was working all day, right? Very busy. And it was my mom who was with us, and then my dad would come home late at night. Okay. And he always said that he would speak to us, but you know, it's funny. I've heard this being said too. A lot of times, if the mother is not from it doesn't speak the same language, it's very difficult for the kids to speak. I mean, you got to start very young and really put an effort. And so, you know, my dad got lazy. Maybe he said, "I'm working so hard." I think it was too much for him to speak, and then for my mom to ask, "What are you saying? What does that mean?" It just got
practical. Okay, practicality. This makes sense 100%. Okay.
It makes sense. So little things he would say, right? Like get the newspaper, little things. He would try to speak to us, but he didn't do a great job with speaking the language to us.
In the house, okay.
Yes. So we tried to go to Sunday school a little bit when we were little kids. Again,
the typical church thing.
Yes, the typical church thing. I would say, you know, I don't know many, it's sad, but I don't know many friends who really, and people are probably going to get upset. They're going to say, I learned it from Greek school. But my personal friends, personal experience, they didn't really learn it because we're little kids. You know, the attention span is difficult. My brother hated going. He would like get nervous and puke. He didn't like being there. He hated it. I didn't learn much. I mean, you learned very little things. I will say, that's how I learned how to write. I mean, I picked up writing and reading very easily as I got older when I put in an effort to learn Greek. And I do attribute that to when I was little and learning the alphabet and all of that, right? But by the age of 10, 14 years old, I went to Greece. I didn't know Greek much. I mean, I remember when I was 7 years old. So we would go to Greece every summer. Sorry, I'm kind of going all over with this story.
So you should, okay, that's important too.
Go, but only for 2 weeks out of the summer. And so again, if you speak 2 weeks in the summer and you're around just Greek for 2 weeks, but then you go back to America and you're not speaking at all, Δεν τα μαθαίνεις έτσι. You can't learn it that way.
Do you have relatives in your
Yeah.
neighborhood? So yeah, they come and go, and you were exposed to the language when you were younger.
Yes, I would say obviously my dad's Greek family. You know, my dad was born in Patras. He was raised in Kalavrita, Peloponnesos, μέχρι.
Historical place.
Yes, yes. 12 years old, and then he went to Athens to finish his studies, Polytechnio, and then he came to America. So all of our family is mostly in Athens and Kalavrita. So let's see, as far as the Greek community in America, in San Francisco primarily, again, that close friend of mine who was my Sunday school teacher, Dimitra, who's now my friend, who the It's a Greek thing was based off, my relationship with her, I would see her. She would come once every, you know, we would try to only speak Greek. So again, she was like a tutor that would help me, but I didn't start really learning until I was 14 years old. I just got the bug in me. I said, you know what? I want to go to Greece the whole summer instead of going for just 2 weeks with my family. So my dad said, are you sure? I mean, you don't know anyone. You're going to stay with your Sia in Kalavrita. You might not like it. Because I was, 13, 14 years old. And this summer going into high school. I just graduated 8th grade. And he said, okay, I'll set it up. You'll go for, 2 months. And I was going to stay with my Thea Sia and Theo Nico. They are in, Kalavrita, and they don't speak any English. My Theo, he spoke a little bit of
the perfect setting in the movie of you learning Greek. The perfect setting.
Exactly. So, oh my gosh, I went, and I remember after the first week calling my dad, and he was in a business trip. He was on a business trip in Poland. And I said, I don't think I can do this. I can't, I don't know anyone. I don't have any friends. And he said, okay, give it another week. He set me up. I guess his friend's daughter was in town. So I went out with her. And then about a week after that phone call, a couple days later, I went to the Platia and I met my first Greek friend who became my best friend that summer. And I'm still very close in touch with her now. But she heard me speaking English a little bit, and I was trying to communicate with other Greek friends. I didn't know much Greek, only words and a little bit, and I understood a little bit more than I was able to speak. And she looks at me and she goes, you are from America? And a lot of people didn't know English at this time. They were taking it in school, but they couldn't, communicate at 13, 14 years old. Or drepotane, they were embarrassed, which I come across a lot of Greeks who are embarrassed to speak. They understand, but they don't want to speak it. So she goes, are you from America? Do you know Mark Wahlberg? And I was like, I know who he is, but I don't personally know him. And she said, and this was in the evening, right? At a little town concert. And she goes, come to my store. At the top of the Platia, my family owns a candy store. I go, okay. So I go there the next day, and our friendship began. We started, she wanted to practice her English on me, which wasn't great. But I learned a lot of Greek that summer. I had a crush on the boy in the village. So that gave me a lot of interest to learn the language after I left that summer. I got a pareja that summer and was able to learn a lot. And
I think, Arianna, you had all the motivation
yes,
for start learning this.
100. The friends, the puppy love of that summer. And then I went back, and I remember my love for Greece that's when it really, really started. I always loved being Greek, and going in the summers up until 14 years old, but that was the summer that really was transformative and kind of honestly, truly changed my life, because I came back and I started listening to all the songs. I think the song of that summer was like Plutarchos something, and I would look it up online, and I would look at the lyrics in Greek and then in English. And that's something I always tell people when they say, how should I start learning Greek? I would say, I advise you to do that. I mean, learning just having even the TV on in the background, listening to songs, looking up the translations, reading it alongside, it really helped me.
Tell me 5 Greek words that you like most.
Okay.
If I tell you, okay, these 5 words, what you could say if they
Okay.
are, if you can
Yes.
say.
Okay. So you're gonna laugh.
Uno.
Yes. Okay. This is so random. It's such a random word, but I remember learning it because my friends in Greece one summer in my late teenage years or early 20s, they were like, okay, we're going to teach you this word. And I'm like, okay, what? And I remember being like, I'm never going to be able to say that. Skouligo mermikotripa.
Oh, that's a classic one for making other people feel bad because they can't pronounce the word.
Exactly. But when I got it, I was like, boom. Ododoglifida, which I still stumble upon. Ododoglifida. That's another.
Okay, I like this one.
I love like phrases, you know, like pulaki mu, psychi mu. Those always like, I get nostalgic hearing those because, you know, like usually it's close family members, my yaya, my baba, they say those things. So pulaki mu, psychi mu, meraki, I like that word a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Passion, devotion for something. Meraki.
Okay. Oh, that is a great combination. Another one?
I remember learning the difference between thrasos and tharos. I like those 2 words.
Okay, nice. Sonoro.
And then a couple other phrases because I remember the history of how I learned them. I remember running the track with a Greek girl in Kalavrita because I would spend my summers, after that summer that I spent all summer, I started going all of high school and college all summer. And I remember running the track with another girl in Kalavrita, and I was running and she goes, "Kóψε λίγο." And I remember going to my friend after and go, "Τι σημαίνει αυτό, κόψε λίγο?" So I like that phrase. And I remember learning idrosa when I was like, how do you say I'm sweating? Idrosa. Those are some very random words, but and then of course the other words, agapi, erotas, those are nice, you know, words that even, you know, Americans know those words.
Mm-hmm. They are universal vocabulary
Yes,
through the English language.
exactly.
Θέλω να μου πεις 5 λέξεις στα ελληνικά που χαρακτηρίζουν εσένα.
Okay, this is tough because it's kind of self-aggrandizing. Like, oh, these adjectives describe me. So I actually asked a couple friends recently what words they would use to describe me, and I guess I agree with some of them. Καλόψυχη,
Καλόψυχη, μου αρέσει.
charismatic.
Χαρισματική, okay.
That's a good one. Dramatic. Δυναμική.
Δυναμική, okay.
Πεισματάρα. I'm stubborn. Ταύρος είμαι, so I'm stubborn.
Ταύρος Μεσογείου, μεσογειακός ταύρος είσαι, άρα έχεις το πείσμα μέσα σου.
Yep. And I don't know, my friend said, okay, έξυπνη, όμορφη, ειλικρινής. Those are some, you know, αστεία. Yes, αστεία, I'd like to think so.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Δεν είμαστε μόνο ένα πράγμα, είμαστε πολλά. And in your case, yeah, everything you said.
How do you say multidimensional in Greek? What's the word for that?
Πολυδιάστατη.
Oh, learned a new one today.
Πολυδιάστατη. Πολλές διαστάσεις. Ισχύει. Και να σου πω κάτι, στα βίντεο σου δείχνεις όλες τις πτυχές σου. Νομίζω ότι in your videos you take different personas, okay, but I see Arianna. The common thing in them is Arianna, I think.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I bring myself to the characters.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I want you to tell me how strong is the Greek diaspora in LA or San Francisco, and in general, if you know, in the USA in general.
Yeah, it's strong. I think growing up, especially in my years, really obsessed with, you know, tapping into my Greek culture and connecting, going every summer, all summer. I was known as even though I was an American girl, I was known as the Greek girl, right, in high school. And then when I would go, I was known as the American girl. But I remember my dad, you know, wanting us to get involved. Oh, like to go to this church event, to go, you know, with these Greek Americans here and whatever. And I was kind of a snob. I would be like, they're Greek.
No, δεν το πιστεύω. Δεν το πιστεύω. Δεν το πιστεύω.
Alethea. Oh, that's another word I like. Alethea. Apparently I say that a lot. Alethea, Alethea. I don't know why, because it's like my really. If I'm always saying really in Greek, like if I'm in a conversation with someone, I'm always going, oh, really? So I translate and I'm always like, Alethea. What was I going to say? So yes, so he would try to get us to go. And I would always say, oh, they're Greek American. I'm Greek. And my dad's like, what do you think you are? You're Greek American. You're born and raised in America. And okay, you have Greek blood, but you're, you know. So in high school, I really wasn't involved in the Greek community as much. Of course, we would do major holidays. Okay, Easter, Pascha, Christougena, we would go to church. But I was also actually baptized in the Greek church and the Catholic church because my mom's Italian Catholic.
You're a hybrid model.
Hybrid religious girl. But no, so I was you know, raised going to both churches. So in high school, yeah, I didn't really tap into it. Here we have a wonderful church in Los Angeles. What do you call it? Called Saint Sophia. So I try to go, I should go more often to be honest. I need to go more often. But yeah, that's a beautiful church. I think now, especially since creating Twin Girl Peaks and meeting more Greeks, especially online, and then which transfers into real life, I think, you know, I've tapped into the diaspora here. Like now I'm able to meet Greeks all over. In the summer, I was asked to perform in New York. So I met a lot of New Yorkers, Greek New Yorkers there. I think the community is a little bit stronger because there are more Greeks on the East Coast, I would say, and more tight-knit community, say in Chicago and New York. So I emceed and did some stand-up there for event with the church, y'all event. So, you know, that was in New York. I met a lot of Greeks there. Los Angeles is very spread out. It's a big city and it's spread out. So I would say there are more Greeks based, you know, about an hour away in Long Beach and kind of closer to the water. I'm in West Hollywood. So, you know, I know some and I try to, you know, keep that community close, but, and in San Francisco as well, there is one. It's just not, it's not as big as, say, New York and Chicago.
And what are the common, you mentioned a lot about the church and I guess religious holidays and Christougena, Pascha. What are other opportunities for people of the Greek diaspora to come meet each other and do some activities together, perhaps?
Yes.
One is the church, the school, you said. It's Sunday school, it's on Sundays.
Sunday school, more for children. I would say going, you know, a lot of the churches, for example, St. Sophia's, they have a Greek dancing class that you can take. They have, you know, want to learn Greek, there are language teachers that you can hire as tutors, or I think there are classes that you can join through St. Sophia, and as well up in San Francisco. There are, especially down in Los Angeles, and again, like I said, on the East Coast, they kind of have died out, sadly, in San Francisco, but Greek nights. So they have, like, you know, so a DJ will be playing Greek music, and they'll have basically like kind of like a club vibe, a Saturday night out, and it's called Greek Night with the Greek Americans that gather, which is very nice. I think there's actually one coming up in San Francisco at Unwind on West Portal. If anyone here is in San Francisco, you should check that place out. I love it. My friends own Unwind, but and they're having a bouzouki night. So there are events. There are usually in the fall, I would say that there are Greek food festivals. Again, that's kind of connected to church, but they do have those once or twice a year. Then, of course, there's which I'm involved in, the LA Greek Film Festival, San Francisco Greek Film Festival, so you can go to film festivals. Each major city has usually most major cities have Greek film festivals, which my brother and I have premiered there multiple times.
When you say you're involved, what are you doing there? Your involvement is?
Yes. So we usually, my brother and I, his production company, we've done a lot of short films. So whether or not they're like connected with the Greek culture, and most of my brother's films have not been, but they have gotten into, Los Angeles Greek Film Festival as well as San Francisco. We actually, one of our major short films that got accepted was when my brother was, it was about 10 years ago. He was 22 years old, and he made a short film on the war in Calabria, right? The massacre, one of the big massacre in all of Greece. So he made a short film on that really circulated across many festivals. And then we were able, we got an investor we wrote a feature film based on that short film on the war in Calabria. So we have that in the works as well as a feature film. My brother and I also just completed a feature film. It was his first feature because he has a lot of shorts under his belt, but this was his first feature. Again, not related to Greece, but we will submit it to festivals as well, such as the LA Greek Film Festival in San Francisco. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there are pop-ups. There are other Greek brands. Like, for example, I don't know if Kartoulis Press is still here, but she, hi Sophia, she had a pop-up. I think it was involved with the church. And she had a pop-up last Sunday in Los Angeles and gets together with other, companies that do pop-up shops, right? If you want to sell your products there. So
there are opportunities, let's say. There are occasions where Greek or, people with Greek heritage can meet each other and interact with them.
Sad to see, honestly, when I did my 4 years undergrad degree at UCLA, I thought, okay, there have to be, because of course there are a lot of Greeks from Greece who come over to study at UCLA. It's a major university. And it was sad, it was really sad to see that club, the Greek American club, the Hellenic Association, was not very active. I tried to go to some meetings, but mostly 2 or 3 people would show up. Maybe it's because we were a lot of they were PhD students or very studious, and it was a rigorous program at UCLA. So it's like, okay, I understand people don't have free time. So that was sad to see that club wasn't as active. Maybe it's changed since I graduated. And then as well, actually at USC, it was more active. They had a Greek club as well, and other nationalities and cultures. They have those clubs as well. So that was nice to meet a few people at USC in my grad degree, meet some Greeks. And again, from Greece and from all over the country. I met people from all over. So that was cool.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we are in the final part where I will become silly, and let's see how silly can I be.
How silly are we going to get?
Okay. Okay, I will be this lovely mood. Okay, this hearty stuff. So it is the Portokalo stuff. I will say some words in Greek, and I want you to tell me the first thing that comes in your mind when you hear that. Okay. Πάμε λίγο. Λοιπόν, φιλοσοφία.
Philosophy. The Greeks invented this. Okay, next.
Okay. Καλό φαγητό.
Good food. Καλό φαγητό. The Greeks make the best food. My Thea Sia in Calabria makes the best.
Ποιο είναι και το αγαπημένο σου φαγητό? Αυτό δεν σε ρώτησα. Μας το είπανε και κάτω στα σχόλια. Ποιο είναι το αγαπημένο σου ελληνικό φαγητό? Τώρα θα γίνει μια μάχη κάτω στα σχόλια. Παιδιά, μην πέστε να τη φάτε την κοπέλα αν δεν πει τζατζίκι και γιουβέτσι και δεν ξέρω και εγώ τι και παστίτσιο. I protect you. Don't worry, Arianna. I protect you. Okay, feel free to say that you're a vegan. No, I'm joking.
No,
okay.
I'm not a vegan. I should be, because I'm in Los Angeles. Everyone's a vegan. No one eats meat here. But I would say, oh God, that's so hard. Kokinisto. I love kokinisto. Now, που είναι χειμώνας, I like kokinisto με πατάτες τηγανιτές. Ή με μακαρόνια. It's like, yeah, if you really want to get full and take a nap after, kokinisto. The summer, I love ψάρι, με χωριάτικη σαλάτα, μία μπύρα στη παραλία. Τι άλλο θες?
Άρα νούμερο 1 κοκκινιστό βάζεις.
Okay, it's so hard. I'm such not a picky eater, so I eat God, too many good food. What's your favorite food?
Μακαρόνια με κιμά.
Οκ, εντάξει, και αυτό. Και
Μακαρόνια
αυτό.
με κιμά. Και ποιο είναι το αγαπημένο σου γλυκό, γιατί σίγουρα θα το ρωτήσουν και το αγαπημένο σου γλυκό.
Are you team melamakaroνα ή team κουραμπιέδες?
Μελομακάρονα.
Okay, so I feel like I'm one of like 10 who say κουραμπιέδες. I love κουραμπιέδες. I prefer κουραμπιέδες.
Έχουμε πολύ μεγάλη παράδοση στους κουραμπιέδες στην πόλη μου. Και έχεις επίσημη πρόσκληση όταν έρθεις στην Ελλάδα να κάνεις tour στη Βόρεια Ελλάδα και να έρθεις να δοκιμάσεις, αφού σου αρέσουν τόσο πολύ, να δοκιμάσεις και τους δικούς κουραμπιέδες.
Yeah, I know everyone's team melamakaroνα, but I love a kurabia. I love it. I need to come to northern Greece more because in the winter I always say θα πάω Thessaloniki. I know how beautiful it is, but I'm so obsessed with Kalavrita that I always say του χρόνου και δεν.
Και δεν έρχεται ποτέ του χρόνου.
Ναι, αυτό.
Oh my god. Okay, επόμενη λέξη που σου έρχεται στο μυαλό, επόμενη λέξη που θα πω να μου πεις τι σου έρχεται στο μυαλό είναι διακοπές.
Διακοπές στην Ελλάδα. Πού αλλού? Summer in Greece. That's what I think of. First thing that I think of διακοπές. Every time I get free time from work, whatever, I'm always in Greece.
Mm-hmm.
And to combine διακοπές and work.
Okay. Oh, these are dangerous paths you follow.
I know.
Distinguish.
I did summer between my grad degree when I was getting my master's at USC. It was the summer. So πρακτική ήτανε στο φυσικό αέριο στην Αθήνα. Αμπιλόκητη. Έκανα πρακτική στο media and marketing. That was before I started tapping into the Greek, community online. But yeah, 2019 έκανα αυτό.
Okay, τέλεια. Η επόμενη λέξη είναι χαμόγελο.
Smile.
Ναι. Έχεις κάποιον συγκεκριμένο άνθρωπο που είναι χαμογελαστός?
Has the best smile, so that's what I think of.
Okay. Sorry, δεν άκουσα.
My mom's smile. I love her smile.
Okay. And I guess you took your Italian mother smile.
Maybe. I hope so.
Okay. Ταινία.
Movies. Okay. My industry. Yes, movies. What do I think of? I think of the script that I'm working on right now. I have a couple scripts for TV, for movies. So I'm always working on new scripts.
You're a machine making all the scripts all the time.
Constantly. I'm never bored. I always have 10 projects at once. I can say that.
Oh!
Always. I know it's too much. I really want to give myself some, a free day without you. But I'm always thinking, it's tough. It's tough. It's like a blessing and a curse. You have your passion and you're always busy, but then you got to give yourself time for, wellness.
Λοιπόν, ο Γιώργος σχολιάζει από κάτω ζακέτα να πάρεις. This is an inside thing.
This is inside και it's coming soon.
Okay. Παιδιά, ζακέτα να πάρεις, απλά να το θυμάστε αυτό, γιατί θα έρθει κάτι πολύ δυνατό. Glossonauts and twingirlpeeks. Δεν λέμε άλλα πράγματα, θα δούμε, θα το δείτε. Η τελευταία λέξη που θέλω να σου πω και να μου πεις τι σου έρχεται στο μυαλό είναι η λέξη στόχος.
Στόχος. Goals.
Mm-hmm.
I always make short-term goals and long-term goals for myself. I would say the past couple years, I've accomplished many short-term goals. Now I'm έχω την αποφασιστικότητα.
Oh, that word hit me like, oh my.
In the face. To accomplish my long-term goals. And I'm working on it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Πάρα
goals.
πολύ.
Everyone to have goals.
Okay, let me become serious now. I will put the hearts out.
Okay.
Αριάννα μου, να σε ευχαριστήσω. Okay. I want to tell you this. Many people are creating content in Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Everyone shares with the audience a part of his or her truth. Σου αρέσει και η λέξη αλήθεια. Οπότε αυτό που μοιραζόμαστε με τον κόσμο είναι η αλήθεια. Βέβαια να πω ότι δεν το κάνουν όλοι. Some, you know, present a more fake thing. Right. You are for these people that you touch themes with, how do I say, διακριτικά. You are very discreet. You love what you do, and you do it with respect. Even though it is, okay, on the surface level, it is funny, it is entertaining, it is amusing. We love this approach too, but there is also the other thing, which is more implicit. It's at least what we as Glossonauts see in your work is the implicit part, which is your love for what it means to share a part of the Greek identity. Because in your case, this is obvious not only in your name and your surname, which is 100% Greek.
Πιο Greek δεν υπάρχει.
Πιο Greek δεν υπάρχει. Οπότε αυτό είναι πάρα πολύ ωραίο. You touch these Greek themes very cleverly, and you're very, yeah, I don't know how to say it. Discreet. You're very in that sense.
And idiosyncrasies and nuances. So I really appreciate that compliment. Because
I hope
comedy, but with heart. Yeah.
Exactly. And if I wanted to choose one word, when you call me, I'm a guest in your live, and you ask me this question. Okay, I'm foreseeing the future now. Okay. I will say the word agapi, which I think that you agree on this. Agapi, you love what you do, and this is obvious. I think that your journey has just begun, and we are very happy. We had the chance to meet you here, and all the Glossonauts of the world. This is Arianna. We meet you. Thank you so much. And we can't wait to go on the project that we can say.
And collaborations together.
Yeah. Take care of yourself. Τα λέμε και κόψε λίγο.
Κόψε λίγο και καλά Χριστούγεννα και καλές γιορτές.
Φιλάκια πολλά. Σ' αγαπάμε. Θα τα πούμε.
Φιλάκια. Γεια σας.
Γεια.